Thanks, lightning, twice as frightening. Headed on to Houston in the middle of the night. Hear the bus die, rub my red eyes, praying I could catch my flight.
Hey, you guys. Welcome to Fast.Hard.Finish.
I did.
I'm Bo Big Time. Yes, he did. Right before the show. Candy cane and all.
Ooh. Red stripe.
Elf style. He's got the hat covering his pointy ears. That is Scott Simpson at Nimble W Numbers. And I'm Bo Big Time. Did I mention I'm Bo Big Time? I'm Bo Big Time.
I was going to say, and this is my guy, Bo _ Mick Big Time. Capital M, capital B, capital T, and the T stands for trouncing Scott last week in the head-to-head. Because unfortunately, here's what I did. I looked at the Thanksgiving score, and hold on. I've got the notes right here.
Yeah, Thanksgiving was a rough day for me.
Let's talk about the Thanksgiving score here. I've got it.
I was hungover.
170.92 to 128.02. And the margin of victory for me was 42.9, a drubbing, a Thanksgiving drubbing. And then you came back with a motherfucking blitzkrieg, and you went 183.58, which would have cashed in many different scenarios, right? To 139.94, a total of 43.4. You beat me by 0.5 over the combined week.
The aggregate score for week 12 was Big Time.
0.5 for that turkey ass motherfucker.
Tyreek Hill, if you're watching, thank you very much. Patrick Mahomes, thanks for throwing to Tyreek Hill. I'd like to thank the Academy. It wasn't even my best lineup. I had scored 205 with one of them.
Son of a bitch.
That was my dueling banjos running back lineup with James Robinson and Nick Chubb with Tyreek Hill. Yeah, that was a fantastic one.
You're a bad person.
Oh yeah.
Well, here's the thing.
We're on fire.
No, I mean you're so on fire that you literally posed in front of a fireplace and you upstaged my hammock call out video with a fucking fireplace, call out video.
It's cold outside. My hammock is in my camping bin.
Listen, I know that you and I are both fat.
Yeah.
But this beard allows me to go in any hammock in any weather. So I will go out next week and I will call you out in December. I don't care what the weather is this week. You will find the fat man calling you out in the hammock, coming back for you, brother.
I'm not against being in the cold, but when I'm next to the fire, I just feel so much warmer.
I like it too. My fire just died. So I'm 100%. Hey, shout out real quick. We've got a couple friends in the chat. Hammerjacks, I love that guy. Let me just tell you, when we hung out today, and you were there for a little bit for the DFS money shot, it was like brothers meeting. It was just in fuego. It was one of the best things I've ever experienced in radio, podcasting, whatever. Kindred spirits would be like an understatement. David and I are kindred. We're brothers in thought process, and I love that we both support and see the value in you, though, my brother. Like we bonded strong over you and how amazing you are, Bo Big Time. If people do not know, they should know. Besides being
surprised that you guys really weren't familiar with one another until recently.
Well, so
you guys know each other by Twitter, but you guys weren't interacting like a bunch. I write for both of you.
Yes. Well, and here's the thing: is that, and this is what I would chalk that up to, honestly, is the grind of real life. In the summer, I mean, I would be your dandy. I would dance with anybody, anytime. You want to talk to me for 16 minutes about the invert offense of the triple wishbone? I'm your guy. But in school settings and when I'm working, man, I ain't got time for shit,
Ain't nothing friskier than a teacher in summer.
Oh, man, I'm just like a whore. I'm just out there like, who's got some balls? But in the winter and the summer months, I'm different. And the winter months, I'm like, get the out of my face. I need to go work. And so I hate that. I hate that about myself. I hate that I have to go into a mind of discipline and regimen. And that's not who I am. Ultimately, I'm a free soul. And so, yeah, me and David had not connected until today. I'm so grateful for him, though. He jumped in there and he crushed the show. He was awesome. I mean, amazing. And I've had amazing guests on all year, and he was top notch. And so
he is a fellow sauce boss. And so I love the guy.
Well, here's what I said. I said, what's so cool about your relationship with Bo is that you guys connect on, like, just being a man. You're men. You connect. Fantasy football level, and then like being a sommelier. And being a sommelier, in case you don't know what it means you're a connoisseur of food and taste. You know the tongue, you know the taste, you know what should go where and how it should go and when it should go and how it should all complement each other. And what you guys have created with his sauces, your sauces, it is from your hands and your mind to our taste buds, man. You guys are the modern day Renaissance men who are doing all these different things, from working your regular job to being a sauce, expertise connoisseur, to doing fantasy football, to having Bo's hot. I mean, dude, you are fucking killing it. And I love that you are with David. I told him he was kind of downplaying it, like, I borrowed him from you. I said, no, man. I said, yeah, Bo is the man, and I love you, brother.
I like to write. So if anybody wants to put my writing on their website, that's the coolest thing I can say. It's surreal, because before 2020, which has been a horrible fucking year, right, for everybody. And it's like nobody's immune to 2020. It's been a shit fucking year. Everybody fucking hates it. We want to see it go in a couple weeks. But 2020 for me has been a year of opportunity.
Yeah. And
so I've been very fortunate. I've been very blessed that I came up with Hotbox on a whim in January, just on a whim. Felt like, hey, I don't have shit else to do. I have all these store brand hot sauces in my fridge that I don't want to put on my food.
Yeah.
They're either not hot enough or they don't have enough flavor.
They're not good enough.
Yeah. So I was like, shit, let's make my own fucking hot sauce. I know what I'm doing. I know what I want it to taste like. I kind of, just like you said, I want my palate to feel a certain way. I want my brain to feel a certain way when I put something on my tongue. Yeah. You guys can edit that. And
no screen grabs, people. No video grabs.
Anyway, yeah. For me, it was just a total random thing, and then it got popular over the course of the year. I started a website where I could sell it.
Let's not pretend it got popular. Here's what happened: is that you put out an amazing hot sauce. And then the people who tasted it were like, oh, shit, this is delicious. This is incredible. I want more of it. And then you were basically forced into making more. Like, I'm not going to lie to you. Bo, when he started this, was not like, I'm going to create an international empire of hot sauce. He was like, hey, guys, I'm in your league and we're bros. I'm going to make a hot sauce to commemorate our league, just as a unifying symbol of us in this experience. Like, what a cool thing I tasted that hot sauce back in 2020. Oh, that's cool.
And shout out Fantasy Stoner, because without him bringing us together, none of this would be where it is today.
I love Fantasy Stoner. Shout out the Undroppables. Shout out Mike Reedy. Shout out Paulie Sleeper. Shout out Jax. Shout out Chalk.
Easy.
Shout out everybody. Yeah. Master June. I mean, shout out the whole crew. You guys are our people. Love you. And it was just so cool because Bo put it out in the DM of the Sleeper is what he did. He chatted the Sleeper. He's like, hey, he wants some hot sauce. And from that, the one bottle I tasted, and this is not the bottle I tasted, but from the one bottle he just sent, it didn't have a symbol on it. It was just a bottle. He's like, hey, bro,
yeah, I was way before labels, way before.
God bless, man. Enjoy the hot sauce. I ate some, and then I said, bitch, when's my next shipment? How much can I buy? And Bo said, well, maybe, I don't know, 24. I said, give me that 24. And then I bought that. I ate all that shit, and then I was like, I need some more. And so, I've got like 6 bottles left, bro. I'm going to hot sauce gift these out for Christmas because that's what I'm doing. And so
I saw your tweet.
I'm going to need some more, man. I'm going to need some more real soon. and you better go get some at hotboxbatch.com before he goes exclusively to commercial. And then he's just selling big batch recipes, to hotels and hotel restaurants and chains. Get it while you can get it, man. I'm stocking this shit up. It lasts forever. It doesn't need to be refrigerated, and it tastes like heaven when you're in hell. So, get that shit.
Well, and it's to answer Duff's question, I am only on one variety of hot box at this very moment. So there's on the website, it's very straightforward. You have the hot box small batch gourmet hot sauce, and you have my Smoke Shack barbecue seasoning rub, which I've been making for 10 years on that, which I was excited to be able to package that up for sale. And it's something that you can put it on every kind of meat, any kind of vegetable. It's great on potatoes. It's just, I want core products that go good with everything.
Well, here's what I like about what you represent and who you are and who we are, honestly, as men, as people, is that what you love and what you enjoy yourself, you're sharing with others. And that's what we do with the DFS website. That's why it's free. That's why you can go look at the DFS.
So far.
So for now. But that's why it is what it is because we share a passion for these things and we want to enjoy them with each other and with you. And so one of my favorite things ever is putting some of Bo's hot sauce, which I'm going to do right now, on my food and then taking a picture of it and then telling Bo, hey man, your fucking hot sauce made my steak better. And I got a little steak in the bowl right here, little beef steak, a little cooked up, little beef stew, but it's still steak and still delicious. And then I got some cheese. Man, your shit is the bomb, bro. I love it. I don't care if nothing ever happens between our podcast and the world, but until I die, there's going to be a Bo's fucking hot sauce in my fridge, motherfucker, just so you know. That's the truth.
So, yeah, moving on to DFS, I want to kind of move on to our head-to-head this week. I mean, I've already been talking all night about my plays, who I'm targeting. I want to talk about Thunderdome.
Let's bring it up. Let's find that jammy.
It's not the money shot because I just keep beating you, but it's just it's something fun that we just came up with, and we're writing articles now for Fantasy Six Pack about it. And it's something we were already doing, and now it's a thing. It's a real thing where people want to read our thought process on how to beat the other son of a bitch that we're facing.
Exactly. And here's the cool part about it, and just so everyone does know, we are the top article on the website, and that's all I gotta say. We're in the crawl.
Which is insane because Fantasy Six Pack is an amazing website.
The other day, I got a little embarrassing story about this experience with Fantasy Six Pack. I published an article. It's my priced up, priced down article for each week where I look at the value on the DraftKings slate, and then they change their prices each week. And so you look at the variance and why you would want to go after a value that's been priced up or priced down, and you kind of decide. And I put it out, and then a couple hours went by, and no one tweeted it out, and I couldn't find it on the website. And so I reached out to Joe, and I was like, "Hey, man, can you give me a heads up when it gets tweeted out and when it gets published?" He's like, "Dude, it's been published for a while." And I was like, "Oh, I can't find it." And he's like, "I'll send you a link." And I reached out to Keith, who's in charge of kind of posting. I'm like, "Hey, where is it?" And he's like, "Oh, it's on the main slider right here. It's going across the main bar." So basically, when I get into the website, my article's front and center, and I'm like, "Where the is that?"
You're like looking on the back pages.
Yeah, I'm like scrolling down, and I'm like, "Oh my god, I can't find it." It's right there. And so, I love those guys. They're so gracious with me, a noob, honestly. But it was right in the beginning, and so was ours right now. And so, if you're not familiar with the Thunderdome, this is the third week of it, and we're 1-1 so far. Well, last week I did win the Thunderdome. Bo won
because of his Thanksgiving.
It was Thanksgiving. It was a comeback, and Bo crushed me in the comeback. But overall, we are 1-1 in the Thunderdome. Bo put me down for week 1. I put him down for week number 2, technically in the series. This is week number 3. Let's talk about our plays here, Bo. Let's start though by look at this sexy motherfucker here. Let's look at this little video, and this is did I fund this? Is this part of what I'm paying for each week? I feel like Bo's flaunting some of his wealth here. Let's watch this.
Hey guys, we'll make big time here. This is a fireside call-out video for Scott Simpson at Nimble W Numbers. Yeah, coming off a walloping victory, I have to redeem myself. So I don't know what the odds are going to be. How much money he's willing to lose this week, but needless to say, I'm going to beat him again. And my guarantee is that this week I will score at least 200 points with my lineup. So if he wants to win, he's going to have to bring 200 plus. And head-to-head, not bloody likely.
Not bloody likely. I love it.
Guys.
Hey, guys. I wish you would have said, hey, you guys. It would have been a little bit, but I still love it. Honestly, it's sexy as fuck. Let's go through the lineups though, because listen, let me go back. I do digress. Here's what I said. I said, defeat is never easy. Just ask Bo. After my Thanksgiving drubbing over him, 170.92 to 128.02, he was looking like a carved turkey. Pick clean. Obviously, I had already started production on a line of sweet graphic T-shirts with Bo's head on a turkey's body when I got the cease and desist letter from his lawyers demanding a rematch immediately. Graciously, I gave Bo another shot. He licked his wounds literally since he was a turkey and poured all of his efforts into exacting his revenge on the DraftKings Sunday main slate. Sadly, the results were definitive and decisive. And
boy, were they.
And sadly, Bo wrecked me. 183.58 to 139.94.
I didn't even lube up before that one. That was
a dry humping there. That was terrible.
Raw. Did that raw.
I felt that yeah, it was bad. The tables have been turned, and Bo let me know about it. With what he is calling a fireside call-out video, which is a total ripoff of my hammock call-out videos, by the way.
Way classier.
It is way classier, and I'm going to have to, I don't know, I have to go to like Starbucks and like do it in the bathroom or something. I have to bring my game up a notch. But here's the team. Let's talk about the team. And
Can I talk about the fireside real quick?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm flaunting my wife's wealth.
Oh, I love it.
That's enough. You can go back to the lineups now.
Oh my gosh. No, that's perfect.
It came with the house.
That was super, super sexy.
I lit the pilot light. That's about all I had to do.
Way to go, bro. I'm a big fan. Big fan. So, let's talk a little lineup construction here.
Raw.
I rolled out with A-Rod or A-Raj or A-Raj.
I already knew kind of. I think I predicted 6 of your 9 players correctly this week before you even showed me. Before the article published, I already knew who you're going to play, and I kind of figured you're going to score around 150 to 155 this week, which is more than you usually score because you're kind of choking against me in these head-to-heads on the main slate. So I'm giving you a lot of credit. I'm giving you a lot of credit for your lineup because
a couple weeks ago, I beat you with Tyreek Hill and Mahomes, and what you did last week was you pulled a Scott and you refabbed a Scott on me. You did me what I did to you. So don't pretend.
But I did it with more class, just like with the videos.
You watched me do it to you, and then you did it to me. Okay. But okay, so let me tell you the real lineup I had in here, and I changed my lineup because of you. Let me tell you what my lineup was.
Nailed it. I still nailed it.
You wouldn't have though. Here was my lineup before, and I changed it because I didn't want it to be almost like yours. And I'm not going to lie.
Because you were reading my articles and copying off my paper like usual.
Not like usual. If it was like usual, then I would normally win. You know what I mean? But I don't. No.
You always have an out with that.
I know. I'm always like, well, I saw your plays, but I went with my plays and I fucked it up today. So. No, so here's what my lineup was. I'm going to give you the full. My mind is listen, I've been drinking since third grade, and that is when I remember everything. Cheers, brother. Love you,
man. So let me guess, you had Mike Glennon.
Yes.
And you had Austin Eckler still in there.
Yes.
You had
DJ Shark was in there.
Uh-huh.
Adam Thielen was in there.
Uh-huh. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And
you had Chubb too. I don't think you went off Chubb.
No, I didn't go off Chubb. But I also had in the tight end position, I had Fursker. And I had to.
Oh, is that Ferkser that I've been playing every single lineup this week and written about multiple times?
Not many times.
Same guy?
Same guy. Same guy that when I listened to the Fantasy Points podcast on, shout out Scott Barrett, John Proctor, and my guy, Graham Barfield, they all said, cheat code, which is Abi. I mean, he's 25.
It's called a free square.
Right. So I didn't want to do that because I knew you were going to do it. And so if I would have done that lineup, we would have had like basically the same fucking lineup minus Austin Eckler and then your RB2. So I knew what you were going to do, and then I didn't want to do what you were going to do, and so I did my own do, which you knew I was going to do.
What everybody thinks I'm going to do.
I'm not going to freak out, man. I'm not. Fuck you. You're cool. So Bo's cool. So let me go through my lineup real quick, and then Bo will go through his lineup. If you want to jump in the comments, I'm sorry we're ignoring you. We're just having too much fun together. So if you don't know what this show is, it's me and Bo getting a time to hang out with each other. We just get to kick it and be together like as friends, and you're getting to watch it.
Yeah,
and the same
3,000 miles away from each other in COVID time. So
it's horrible. Like if I lived in California or if Bo lived in Maryland, we'd be hanging out all the fucking time. I'd pick him up from his job and be like, "You want to go ching?" He'd be like, "Yeah,
yes, sir."
Oh, bang, bang, bang! Roll up the tinted windows, put on the gangster rap music. It would be a thing. But we're doing it virtual. But it's our hangout, just like me and Mike are hanging out every Monday night at 9:30 for the Fantasy Football Millionaire Show. That's me and my best friends hang out on Monday night. So you're getting to see me hang out with two of my best friends every week, and I'm having the best time of my life. I'm not going to lie to you. This show is a little bit funner than my show with Mike because I feel a little pressure to come with the stats and with the correction. And it's in live time. Football's happening. This is one of my favorite releases, bro. Like I can just come hang out and the week I process.
You're burying the lead now, Scott. You're burying the lead of your mediocre lineup compared to mine.
Well, let's just talk about
Give the people what they want.
I'm gonna give the upside shuffle, and I'm gonna share my lineup and then yours, and I'm gonna go back. Here's what we do in education: we give the outline, and then we give the detailed notes. So I'm gonna go through each of the plays real quick, and then we'll get in detail about why I think, and we'll talk about it. We're not gonna read; we're gonna talk. So my lineup is as follows: Aaron Rodgers at QB. I went with Nick Chubb RB1. I went with Austin Eckler RB2. Wide receiver 1, Allen Robinson. Wide receiver 2, Justin Jefferson. And then wide receiver 3, Kiki QT. Tight end, Robert Tonyan. And then Nyheim Hines in my flex with the New York Jets as my D. Here is Bo's build to contrast that. He went with Mike Glennon. Oh, Big Neck McGree. I like that. We have Derrick Henry, Nick Chubb, Adam Thielen, Michael Pittman, Keelan Cole,
sleeper,
and then your guy Frisker getting a little frisky, and then James the Frames Robinson.
Yeah, my RB3/flex is none other than the RB2 from last week, James Robinson.
And then we have the Patriots D.
Mm-hmm. I love the Jets play too.
Thank you. So let me talk about my thought process in putting my lineup together. Then you can share yours, and then we'll kind of contrast, and you can pick me apart. I'll pick you apart as well. And it won't be picking apart. It'll be nuancing because really what you have here are two strong teams. You got
two teams that I would build myself. So it's I can't hate on your team. I already knew it was going to be good. That's why I kind of went riskier than you did.
Well, I appreciate that. And what you do when you're trying to maximize upside in these contexts is that you're going for plays that are going to be more ceiling than floor. And so when you think about it, you just got to think of a range of outcomes, right? Like, so you're going to go to the park. Is your kid going to fall off the swing? Stay on the swing. You think that as a parent, you go, okay, they're going to fall off. I need to help them. They're going to be fine. They're good. You go. So when you think about players, go, are they going to bust or are they going to boom? What are they going to do? And so in that, you hedge those angles and you look for like variances and things that you can use against the other person. And so I'll tell you what I saw in Aaron Rodgers. This is crazy, right? He averages 25.5 points per game, fantasy points in DraftKings. He has 33 touchdowns. He averages 281.85 yards a game. He has 4 interceptions, 33 touchdowns, 4 interceptions in 11 games. He averages 3 touchdowns. And then he also adds on the 280. He averages around 25. You're getting him at 6,800. If he just triples up, right? You're getting around 20 points. If he quads, he's getting 28 points, 29 points. I patched him up with my guy Runyon Smunyon, because at 3,700, that's the best value on the slate related to a QB stack of any sort. You can't tell me that you can give me a better quarterback and then a better receiving option at a better price. Give it to me. Maybe it's Jared Goff and Robert Woods, maybe, but I still think I beat you. I still think I have less money spent on those. I think I'm around 1,100, less than 1,100. And I have a person who is the 4th ranked tight end in the league right now, and he's got 7 touchdowns. And guess what? He's got the same amount of touchdowns as Travis Kelce. They're tied for first place with tight ends. So say what you will. That is a great play at 3,700, but it doesn't mean I'm going to win. But that's just where I'm thinking with Rodgers. I got Chubb and you got Chubb because we all got Chubb.
Yeah.
Because Chubb is the best play in my opinion, under Dalvin Cook. And then, and this is how it price wise, it goes Dalvin Cook at 9,500. And then you have our guy, Henry, the Smenry, Grenry crushing guy, Derrick Henry at 9,200. And there's a huge drop, $1,500
which
down
is crazy.
Nick Chubb, right. And Nick Chubb should be priced around 8,500. If you don't know, he should be, and he's not. And that's a value for us. And so we both went with him. It's obvious. I mean, he's the only running back besides Henry. And then,
that's chalk at 77 that you're more willing to eat than that 95 and 92.
Oh, yeah, just totally. And then for me, Austin Eckler, I'm not saying he's completely matchup proof, but in this circumstance,
though.
I think that Justin Herbert is going to be focused on. I think Justin Herbert is going to be the main kind of your brunt of Bill Belichick's wrath. And I think Keenan Allen will be kind of bracketed and Gilmore will be on him. And so, we talked about it and you commented about him moving into the slot and kind of, you want to make sure that Gilmore goes to them. He probably will. He will. But
you can't play Keenan Allen in a tournament this week at his price.
No,
he's just too expensive, and his upside is going to be completely cut down by Gilmore. He's still going to get plenty of catches. He's still a fine cash play if you're willing to fit him in. But seriously, it's like if you're trying to win big money, you got to go after the guy that's going to score you 30 points. And I don't see Keenan Allen scoring 30 points this week. Austin Eckler has a much better chance of doing that because he's just a PPR monster. And in this format for DraftKings, he is matchup proof. He had 16 targets last week, 16. And they were saying they were going to measure down his workload. Well, yeah, that only meant his carries. He only had a few carries, and he was 7-8 yards a carry.
Yeah. And so if you have 11 carries and then you have 11 catches, that's 22 touches. It's all about the touches. And so
11 of those touches got him a point each.
Right. And you got 85 receiving yards. He went over 120 yards combined. So here's what you're thinking this week. I'm thinking this week at 7,100, he's going to score 25 points and he'll triple max 3.3, something like that. That's what I'm hoping. I do have some things here I want to share. I wrote them down in my notebook. I just need to find the page before I threw my notebook up in the air earlier. It's kind of a dramatic, which was disappointing because
You never do that.
I'm a really calm and just, really humble, quiet guy, But when I do,
you never have outbursts of any kind.
No. I'm like what they call a quiet soul.
I agree with David in the chat. Mike Williams is a great play this week.
I'm so far behind in the chat, unfortunately, because I've just been bonding with my guy Bo. When I do find whatever I do have in here, I'm sure it's going to be really good. Oh, I can't find. I don't know what's.
Yeah, I'm hoping Eckler scores 17 to 20 points so I can win that position.
I found it.
Yes.
Eureka. Let me tell you something that nobody in the whole business is going to tell you. Not one person I've ever heard give you these stats, and you're going to love them, Bo, because they really get to the heart of the matter. It's what you're chasing. You're chasing what we like to call the nuts. So let me give you the nuts. These are the nuts. The last 12 weeks, these are the nuts. Week 1, wide receiver, running back, wide receiver. That's 1 through 5. Week 2, running back, wide receiver, tight end. I'm not going to bore you with all the rest. I'm going to cut to the chase. Here's what we have. The top scoring player positionally over the first 12 weeks is the running back position with 7 top cashes. The wide receiver is 5. Running back and wide receiver have controlled it. No tight end has scored. But if you examine the numbers a little more closely, let's talk about the big picture, the top 5. Because if you have the top 5 in your lineup and you can kind of predict that, then you win the top 5. Here's the top 5. Overall, 36 have been wide receivers in the top 5 over the first 12 weeks. That means 3 out of every 5 every week are wide receivers. So maybe your flex should be a wide receiver. I'm just saying. All right. Secondly, maybe not. Secondly, running backs have been 20, and then tight ends have been 4. And so the big picture is that your best chance is getting one of these top running backs, like an Austin Eckler, like, dare I say, a James Robinson. You are exactly onto it. We're thinking the same thing. We're playing from the same script. I love it. Let me roll down to the next play. I went with Allen Robinson because I don't think there's a man alive who is worse in coverage than the DBs right now for the Detroit Lions. I think, my grandmother, God rest her soul, could jump in there and probably do a better job than these players next that Allen Robinson's going to go up against. So I think Allen Robinson is primed for a huge breakout.
Yep.
Big time. So
that's the guy I'm worried about.
Yes. He's got the slate breaking potential too. He was my second wide receiver, the best plays of the week wide receiver wise. So I love him. Maybe. I love Justin Jefferson, and I went with him because I think he has the long range, particularly air yard potential to break the slate open. Deep in coverage, Jacksonville, they suck. They're 31st against the pass, and deep pass they're not better. So I know that Thielen is the red zone monster, but my thought is, why throw it down at the 10 when you can throw it from like the 40 or the 30, and you got like a 28 or 50 or 70-yard touchdown to Justin Jefferson. So it comes down.
I'm not saying Jefferson's a bad play by any stretch. I'm still playing plenty of Jefferson, but for this head-to-head matchup, I want probability.
I agree.
Justin Jefferson is less probable to catch a 50-yard bomb than Thielen is to catch one from the 20 and in.
I'm not going to lie. This was it's only a 400-point difference. But
right, and that's not big enough for me to say that Thielen's not going to get more volume and have more of a chance to score a touchdown.
Well, this is my GPP play. This is where I am shooting for upside. I know I have a floor, and my floor is not as high as your floor, but my ceiling, it might be a little higher at the price range. We'll see. I love this.
At that position, yes, you're right.
Right, maybe. But I went with next. I went with Kiki QT. I noticed that you did not downgrade him to a fade this week, and you didn't also elevate him to a play this week. So he was in the middle range of kind of a neutral. Yeah. What do you think?
I don't love or hate him. He's okay. He got pretty much healthy scratched all year under Bill O'Brien, through Kenny Stills getting cut, through Randall Cobb getting injured, and now through Fuller keeping his hamstrings together with steroids. We're definitely looking at an opportunity for Kiki Kuti, but I just don't trust him. I mean, I don't like the play. I'm not fading him because he still could get 6-7 targets in that game, but it's just I'm not going to get a guy in this format and head to head that might go for 3 points and his upside might be 12.
Yeah, it's true. I'm not going to lie. Let's say though that he catches a touchdown and goes like 3 for 40.
Yeah, you're going to need that touchdown.
I'm going to need that touchdown. And these are pressure points though. And if you don't understand how this works, we're all chasing 6. I got to tell you a cute story real quick. My podcast partner, Mike Collins, and your friend, and in virtual life, and hopefully one day real life.
We're in each other's DMs all the time.
I told Mike, I said, you both just need to get each other's phone numbers and talk to each other.
We have it now. We're texting now.
Well, you know what? I'm a little jelly because I'm sure there'll be times where I call one or the other and you'll be like, oh, you don't answer. You'll be like, I'm talking to Mike or I'm talking to Bo. And I'll be like, hello, is it Bo? Yes, it is. It's Bo. I'm trying to call Bo. Like, damn it.
I'm trying to talk to Lionel Richie here, okay?
Oh, motherfucker. No, but this is the cool thing. And this is what I love about my friend Mike and you, is that Mike has expressed to me, like every single time I talk to him, he's just like, man, I love Bo. How did you get to meet Bo? Like, he's like so jealous. And he's like, I wish I had what you had with Bo. And I go, well,
you can. He does now.
Go talk to him. He will talk to you. And shout out Jason Sarney, who one day DM'd me and said, can I call you on the phone? It's like,
yeah.
I'm a real life person that you can.
I have a phone.
I can do it. A couple hours later, we were besties. And so all of this really comes down to what you're willing to kind of give out or share or put on the table. And for me,
and when it comes to meeting new people, I'm like a dog. I'm really like a dog. I have a keen sense for if you're a good person or a bad person by spirit. And if you're a good spirit, I'm going to get along with you really quickly.
Yeah.
And if you're not, I'm just not going to deal with it.
It's one of those, it's one of those sensing things where you can just be around someone and then you can go, yeah, this is my vibe. And I honestly,
I've been in sales and marketing my entire life. I can read a person.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, talking to David tonight on my DFS Money Shot podcast. I mean, I told my wife, I'm serious, and I was like, I made a new friend. I was like, he believes in humanity. He believes in building community. He believes in loving each other. He believes in helping people be better than they are, pulling people out. He believes in supporting. This is the thing for me, and why me and Bo get on so deeply. It's not because we're two sexy motherfuckers with beards who like DFS.
I thought that's exactly what it was.
Well, I thought it was too. And then we actually got to know each other. And what it really comes down to is deep down inside, we care about other people. We're able to not look at our own perspective, but the perspective of others, and then exploit that perspective for money on fantasy football. So, bitch.
This is the week. I was saying this on the Fantasy Intervention show before this one. This is the week for the average Joe. So if you've been following along the last few weeks or even all season, you've been reading my articles, you've been reading Scott's articles, listening to what we have to say, what we've been breaking down, you most likely have a bankroll this week to play with. This is the week I'm spending the most money, gambling the most money, because I feel like the average Joe has just as good of a shot as an optimizer. Is you don't have obvious optimizer plays this week. And so you can go after and gamble and go and play in a bigger tournament with not bigger by size, but bigger by entry fee, and take down a tournament that's going to have a lower pay line.
Yeah,
go after it, people. This is if you're with us, you're gonna cash big this week, and it's gonna be because you took a little bit more of a risk.
Yeah, I love that. That's perfect. Speaking of that, with
I
Naeem
emptied the chamber this week.
Well, I can't do that anymore. Technically, not 100% after the vasectomy. It's like a 98%. Speaking of that, if you caught the Fantasy Millionaire show on Monday, Mike had a brilliant video of Leonard Fournette running into his own lineman. He had a gaping hole in front of him.
Yeah, with only a safety coming down 10 yards away.
You and me could have gone in the hole and then been like, stick on that safety.
I would have been trucking the safety, not my own guard.
Oh my God. So what our boy Leonard Fournette did is he ran into the hole. He's vertical with the hole. He's in the hole. And then for some reason he takes a hard left and just runs into the asshole of his lineman. And then he hits him, and then another guy comes and wraps him up and pulls him down. But there was like 15 yards of daylight to the other side of that asshole. And he just didn't see it. So it was perfect.
And Mike called it the running back vasectomy.
Called the running back. Yeah. So that's exactly what I'm shooting off here. But I'm not playing with blanks in this lineup. I've got Nyheim Hines. And so let me tell you about what I think about Nyheim Hines this week in Justin. And Jonathan Taylor. So they're the only game in town. Wilkins is not going to play in this game. He's going to be out. He's done. So there's two running backs. And so what you have to understand is there is not a 50-50 chance of touchdowns. There's a little bit of a different chance. It actually comes down to they've passed for more touchdowns this year than they've rushed for. And my guy Nyheim Hines has 6-4 touchdown ratio over Jonathan Taylor. I'm not saying that Jonathan Taylor doesn't get one, but I think Nyheim Hines gets one receiving. I think Jonathan Taylor gets one rushing. And I would play both of them. I think they're both great plays this week. Nyheim Hines, though, is just a little bit underpriced or lower priced, and that allowed me to do what I did. I'm going trying to maximize. I had no money left at all. And so I went Nyheim Hines. What do you think about him this week?
I prefer Taylor, but I'm not against Hines at all. His price is too good, especially for a PPR monster like he is. He has a nose for the end zone, like you said. Rivers is captain checkdown. He's the original president of checking the ball down. His vice president is Mike Glennon, my quarterback. So we're looking at a lot of upside from Hines for that price. It's too easy to put him in there. So I mean, you'd be dumb to look at that tier of flex players and not pick him over the other guys. Yeah, and Phil's saying that Taylor has a nice price too. I agree, Phil. And sorry, the burn zone. Inside baseball. But Burn, really, if I had $500 more, Jonathan Taylor would be a smash at that price. Only 400 more.
400 more. Sorry, 400 more. Yeah, it would be ridiculous. I went with the Jets at 2,100 because all I need.
You had no more money.
Yeah. But I put them in there because all I really need from them is 6 points. That's all I need from them to make them a value. I don't want them to be anything than a space filler.
And they won't be.
Exactly. They won't be. If they get a pick six, though, we'll see. Or if I'm recovering, we'll see. Well, let's talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly in Bo's lineup. Let me, Bo. You want to read yours? You want me to read yours? What I would love for you.
I'll read the paragraph. Yeah.
Yeah, go for it, brother.
What a glorious feeling to not only get a victory over Stack Simpson, but to absolutely obliterate him with fierce abandon.
Motherfucker.
I cannot rest on my laurels, however, because I know he is of the highest caliber of DFS player. This kind of shellacking only ignites a cauldron of determination within the jolly fella's hot box enameled gut.
Ooh, it's a lining of gut now.
Yeah. It took a Mahomes Hill stack to flatten Simpson with 183 points in Week 12. In my fireside call-up video the other day, I guaranteed 200-plus points in my Week 13 victory build. I needed to make some fundamentally sound choices in my lineup build this week if I wanted to retain my crown. I took some calculated upside risks, but to be sure, they carry with them a measure of stability in their own right. If I'm predicting Scott's final score based on the players I expect him to roll out against me, which I nailed, by the way, I will need I will need 155 to surpass him. He is keen on some amazing plays this week, so I will be a brushstroke ahead of him and shoot for that 200 score.
Yeah, speaking of brush strokes, I think that your writing is it's not a Rembrandt, it's not a Picasso, it's more of a Van Gogh. And what I like about it is you change it every single week. There's nuance to it, and this isn't even what I'm talking about. Like I'm talking about your main writes that you do, but every single thing that you write, it's a cornucopia of literary effusion. I love it, man. As an educator and a literary scholar myself, I love Dostoevsky. I love, Victor Hugo.
I traced my lineage. I did my genealogy, and I'm a direct descendant of Geoffrey Chaucer.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Dude, holy fucking shit. That's awesome. Also,
cool, huh?
I hope that you or your kin didn't murder anybody because they'll find you now.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, my lineup is a little bit more on the GPP side. I did take some more risks than you did. You have a couple guys sprinkled in there with some big upside, but I went with one of my kind of quasi GPP like multiplier style builds here, where I'm taking an upside shot because I do like your lineup. I already knew I was going to like your lineup, and I wanted to make sure that if you were going to score that 150 mark or more, I was going to have a shot to beat you and feel good about it. So I don't want to just beat you. I want to annihilate you again.
You look like you're on the edge of that, by the way, with this build.
Yeah, it's definitely in the realm of possibility, and that's kind of the story I wanted to tell with this build. Is I wanted you to feel scared until lock that Bo's about to drop 200 plus on you.
Well, here's what I like about the long neck Mike Glennon is that
I call them the long neck journeyman.
Yeah, I love him. He really is going to be able to see the whole field, and it's going to help him navigate this game, and he's going to hopefully pass a lot for you.
To my guys.
Right, because he's going to be losing to the Vikings. Possibly.
I actually called an upset in my Pecan Takes article.
Ooh, I like that. So a game that's very close. It's going back and forth the whole time.
Yeah, I think shootout, and I think the Jags might nip them at the end.
Ooh, that's sexy. That's sexy as fuck. I'm not gonna lie. I'm aroused.
Periscope Glennon, yep.
Well, I actually had him in my lineup before, and I'll tell you what I like about him is that if he scores, 20 points, he's 4 maxed and plus
smash.
Yeah, smash. So I don't think we all understand this. So, Bo, do me a favor, humor me, but really help the audience. What is 4 maxing, 3 maxing? What does that all mean? How does that work, and why are you looking for that when you go to play your plays?
Yeah, so it's simple arithmetic. If you're going 2-1 with 9 starters, you're looking at 100 points. If you're saying a 50,000 salary cap and you go 2-1 value, you're scoring 100 points. If you go 3-1, you're scoring 150, and in a cash game like this, that's kind of what you're looking for. To give yourself the best chance to win, you're going to need 150 points most weeks. In a GPP, you're looking at 4 to 5x, even higher on some of your plays. You need that possibility to be on the board. For this game, I'm looking at 3x, if not more. I'm looking at kind of 3.5x for my build. For Glennon at 4,800, his 3 max would be 15 points. We're just shy of it. And in a game against a very bad secondary, we're talking a pretty easy task. I think his floor is at the 3 max, which is awesome to me.
Yeah. Well, let me just tell you, welcome Mike Collins, the Ralph Macho on Twitter. He just jumped in to
the Speak of the devil.
Don't let me interrupt Bo's flowing over there doing some math. I like it.
Yeah. Here's the thing. What we're talking about right now is we went through my build on the head-to-head Thunderdome DFS little experience me and Bo are doing over at the Fantasy Six Pack.
You going to whoop that ass again, Bo?
It's close. It's close. So I'll let you weigh in, Mike. I'm going to give you a little run back of my team, and you can take a look and tell me what you think. My team starts with Aaron Rodgers, and then I have Nick Chubb, Austin Eckler. I roll down to Allen Robinson, Justin Jefferson, Kiki QT, Tunyon, my guy Naeem Hines, and the Jets. My guy Bo is rocking with Mike Glennon. And then this is where we're at. So, Bo, continue, sir.
You're muted.
Yeah, what happened to Bo?
No, sorry.
No worries, bro.
So my whole philosophy this week with all of my builds, cash or GPP, was kind of looking at how the prices were breaking down and look to exploit the right build. I want to be able to fit the right players in to my lineup at the right price. And so I saw a lot of tier breaks. I saw an upper echelon group of running backs and then a big drop off. I saw an upper echelon group of wide receivers followed by a big drop off. And then there's some good values down at the bottom. I also saw some tough matchups for your most expensive quarterbacks and your most expensive tight ends. And so I'm looking at being willing to spend down so much at quarterback and at tight end and at defense that I can get at least 2 stud running backs and 1 stud wide receiver or vice versa. So that was my entire objective of all my lineup builds this week, was to spend up at running back, spend up quite a bit at wide receiver, and then just get bargain barrel values that I've found at tight end, at defense, and at quarterback.
Yeah. No, it's cool. I'm interested to see beyond these studs. Are you gonna pair old giraffe neck Glennon up with Laviska Shenault? Is that who you're thinking? Who are you gonna?
No, similar. Keelan Cole.
Keelan Cole. Okay.
Keelan Cole has 4 games over 15 points this season, and that's the only player on the Jags that has done that so far besides James Robinson. And I think Colin Johnson is he's a good play this week, but he's not a great play because DJ Chark is back. And so I'm going after the slot corner for the Vikings, who's a rookie. He's a mid-round pick. He's been slaughtered all year. And Keelan Cole's a professional wide receiver. He's not amazing, but he's better than that guy in front of him. And he's going to have a smash potential. At 3,800, I don't need that much out of him. But he's got 20-point upside. And there's no other player in that range that has that. Well, and I also have,
yeah, 5 max. Sorry.
And you did the old Ferkser at tight end. I've definitely built some Ferkser lineup.
Ferkser is a free square this week. The last time Jonnu Smith missed significant time was week 9, and he scored 28 points against Houston.
Yeah, I like. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Do the math on that one. What's 28 points off 2,500?
Let me see the D too.
That's a 10.5 max.
That's pretty good, isn't it?
Kind of good. So his D is the Patriots, but better than his D is his.
He's got Mr. Robinson too.
Yeah. Talk about massive floor from Robinson and a mega ceiling. Yeah, and he's my running back 3 flex.
Yeah.
Patriots, I don't need much out of them. I just want them to kind of give the rookie some fits, cause a couple turnovers, get some sacks. I don't care if they get. I don't care if they get third.
Yeah, if anybody's going to crack the Justin Herbert code, it's going to be Bill Belichick. So
yeah, and they're not even close to where they were last year. All their defensive studs, besides Gilmore, opted out.
Right.
It's going to come down to
they're always a defensive minded team, and as the season progresses, they seem to always get better on defense. Doesn't matter who's on the field, they continue to gel. So I do like that defense.
Yeah, and in a GPP, I would actually pair them with Damian Harris this week because I think they're going to try to muscle up and beat the Chargers on the ground and keep Herbert on the sideline.
So is this a cash game I'm looking at between you guys? This is the
head-to-head, so it's cash.
Head-to-head. Okay.
But head-to-head, you can go either direction. You can do what I'm doing and take some upside risks all over, or you can do like Scott, where you have a couple little risky plays, but then mostly you're solid as a rock. Like Aaron Rodgers, like of course, I like his floor, of course, because he's done it every week. But I don't think his upside. I don't think his upside's there this week, to be honest.
I agree. I want a floor.
I think they're gonna smash the Eagles. The Eagles are gonna get blown off the field.
I'm going to be honest with you. This is why I think Aaron Rodgers is a play from here on in. Okay. I understand the idea that, different games kind of take on different tones, and that guy's a professional football player and he wants to get into the playoffs and he's just thinking about winning. And so maybe that's the mindset he has. I, on the other hand, think he is looking at the MVP race. And I would not.
Well, you've traded up to get my replacement in the first round, even though he's a project. Fuck you. I'm going MVP, and I'm doing it on your grave, whether we make the playoffs or not.
Right.
They're going to make the playoffs, but I think he wants to get the MVP. Dude, look at his numbers. He's right there.
33 touchdowns and 4 picks. That's insane.
Yeah. Right. I mean, it's really right now. It's him and Mahomes. Like those are the two front runners.
Obviously.
I don't expect him to take his foot off the gas pedal. I think if they get down on the 2-yard line, he's going to throw the ball in the end zone. Right. That's my hot lean on it.
So, Scott, did you say A-Rod is your heavy bone or A-Rob?
A-Rod.
You like both of them now?
No, it's A-Raj. Here's the thing. I think for 6,800, that's an amazing value. And so when I looked at all the values over the course of the year using the DFS tool that I created for DraftKings, the most prevalent value was always in quarterback every week. It was 4.3, 7, 3.7, 3.8, 3, whatever it was, because the quarterback scored the most points. And so I kind of agree with Mike on the game script and the narrative. Aaron Rodgers is kind of out on one of these. He's not in a midlife crisis. He's not Tom Brady, but he's pissed. He's pissed. And he is throwing the football, and he's calling his own plays at the huddle, and he's getting up to the line, and he's like, first score 89. Fuck it. We're going to fuck it. All right, touchdown to Devontae. On 3. And then somebody jumps off sides. And he's like, ha, ha, ha.
Free play.
Right, free play. So he's just another game. He's like Peyton Manning. That's what he is. He's a smarter, more athletic, more competent, dickier Peyton Manning, which I love. And
I've met him. He's all the same.
6,800? Are you fucking kidding me?
I don't
against the Eagles.
I don't even think too like he's necessarily pissed anymore. I just like.
Oh no, he is.
He's pissed.
Well, here's the thing. For me, what I think whether he's pissed or not, that's fine. I think he's already pissed out his piss juice because he's just been playing so good. I agree. I think what he's going for now is history. Like you don't think that guy's aware of every single thing about every single thing in football. You don't think him getting a third MVP just adds so much to his legacy. You don't think
he's a football scholar?
He knows. He sees exactly where he is, and he has a legit shot at getting MVP. And to me, I think it's a steal at 6,800. So I mean, I'm gonna be looking at A-Rod from here on in. You know, that's the way I'm thinking.
This week. Wouldn't it be fucking hilarious if Glennon outscores Rodgers?
It would be really hilarious, and I would laugh because I don't care about Aaron Rodgers.
I would be all over your shit on Twitter, Scott. I would never, ever, ever let Scott live that one down.
Oh man!
Hey, so look,
do I expect it to happen? Absolutely not. We're talking about $2,000 difference in salary.
Right.
I'm looking to stay close, though.
Here's the thing. Scott hates on Derrick Henry, which if you're going to go down, go ahead and get that beast of a man, because I love the Henry pick. Here's the thing. It's Derrick Henry season.
It's December.
It's the season. It's
That's the season.
He's just everyone is got bruised bones. They're all dealing.
You know what time of year it is?
Yeah, and it's time
December.
for him to crap.
And in Nashville, I've been to Nashville in the wintertime. It's fucking cold.
Yeah.
And it's outdoors. It's on grass. And Derrick Henry is 6'3", 255 pounds, and runs 22 miles per hour.
Yeah.
And by the third quarter, you're going to have guys on that Browns defense making business decisions.
Yep.
And no matter how much money they get paid to play football, those business decisions are going to be ole, ole, ole. And Derrick Henry is going to put up another 30-burger.
So I like, so let's go back to the Bills again. First of all, so love Scott's quarterback, love your RB1. I'm a Thielen guy this week too. Me and Scott had already talked about that, but I also like Jefferson. I think they both if I'm gonna bet who has the bigger game, I'd take Thielen. But it is close and you never know. You know what I mean? That's why you have to go out there and play the game. I wouldn't be surprised if they both have nice games.
And I'm banking on that too. I do have a GPP lineup that has a quad stack for the Vikings.
A quad stack.
I'm playing Cousins, Thielen, Jefferson, and Cook.
Nice. Okay.
Because I'm thinking if they blow the doors off that Jacksonville team, which is very possible, we're looking at everybody's going to get involved.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have touchdowns scored. All those touchdowns have to go to those guys. I mean, you're not going to see maybe a Kyle Rudolph lightning in a bottle touchdown might stun one of them, but I mean, we're talking Dalvin Cook, we're talking Thielen, we're talking Jefferson get all the touchdowns on that offense.
Yeah.
And another pivot might be to Mike Boone for mop-up.
Scott's always got these weird little Twitter whisperings too about like, you know, and I don't know if he's been right yet. Like I remember him saying Kamara was banged up. He was telling me Dalvin Cook is banged up. What's the word on that, Mr. Simpson?
He had a minor ankle injury earlier in the week after his third quarter of last week's game. He tweaked his ankle. He came out briefly, came back in, didn't look very good. And then he was limited in practice on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then he's full practice the rest of the week, taken off the injury report.
Yeah. Well,
what are you thinking about it, Scott? Are you don't have faith in him a little bit? You think it's a little more.
Here's what Kubiak said. He said,
okay. I like to hear the sources.
Yeah, Kubiak is his offensive coordinator, and he said he's banged up. He said he's banged up a little bit, and so I'm not making this up myself. My take was formed a little bit around the Fantasy Points podcast take. I'm going to share who those people are. It's Scott Barrett. It is Graham Barfield. It's Dr. John Proctor. I'm glad he's getting over COVID, by the way. Praying for you, Dr. John. He shared, and they've shared that just there is a sense in Minnesota. There's a real shot they have at a playoff berth right now. Like they can get in, and they're right. They're really close on that 7th spot. So I could definitely see a scenario where Mike Boone gets more of a boon because Alexander Mattison is out this week, and it's not one of those weeks where Dalvin Cook is relied on for what you're going to need 9.5 points or something, or like 28
points to 3x.
Yeah, it's a lot of points. So I think this is a game where they do rely more heavily on the wide receivers, and also because Jacksonville struggles with wide receivers. And so why not
struggle with everybody?
Yeah, but why not exploit what you can? Like it's almost one of those things like I could run it over you, but why not just throw it over you? It's not working as hard.
It's too easy.
Yeah.
That's my hope. And so I think if you're going to win this game and you think you can win this is a game that you're not, as a coach, trying to like crush Dalvin Cook in, then you don't really feature him as your main guy. Maybe you don't give him 30 touches or 25 touches. Maybe you give him 16. And maybe he gets a touchdown and 85 yards and 3 catches for 40. He gets you 20 points, but he doesn't get you 30. And so
I do appreciate the intel because I'm buying it. So I have yet to throw him into a lineup, and now I'm thinking I might just cover my pass a little bit.
Mike Glennon, garbage time season.
I'm talking about the Dalvin Cook, just like that scenario where, yeah, they're throwing it and then they get down to the 2-yard line and then,
I did say I threw that quad stack in there, but a lot of the times I'm going down to Henry and Chubb because it's my dueling banjos running back face-off stack.
I like Henry. Chubb is you can see him having a big game.
Massive game.
It's definitely in the range of outcomes for him. So,
well, I'm not worried about Chubb because we both have him.
Right.
So let's go back up. Let me see. All right, so we have
Michael Pittman is his
best value on the board.
Yeah, it was a great pick. Great pick.
Pittman.
I like that. He got 9 targets last week, and though he only connected for 3 of them, it wasn't his day. He still got
because Rivers threw it behind him every single play.
Because Rivers fucking sucks. Let's be honest. That's why I went with Nyheim Hines because he can hit him. He's closer to him.
Mm-hmm.
You can see him.
Sidearm sling.
Yeah, underneath the lineman's arms and shit. He can't throw it very far.
Well, Pittman is $400 cheaper than Hines and has a much, much bigger ceiling than Hines does for your 10 catches for 200-yard game.
Oh yeah, I agree 100%. You're more GPP pushing me, and I like that. And this is what's cool is that as we sharpen each other, we're getting like bigger and bigger, and our head-to-heads become more GPP-ish. It's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah.
I like your Keelan Cole play too, though. You're talking about a Jags wide receiver who's going to be getting the second DB and
third DB. He's a small guy.
Yeah, it's not going to be good. And Minnesota has struggled all year.
Minnesota's starting corner was their preseason third corner.
Oh, it's terrible.
So they're getting the 6th DB on the depth chart preseason against Keelan Cole this week.
Mm-hmm.
It's not good.
And guess what? He's given up the 10th most fantasy points to anybody in the whole league, and he doesn't even play all the time.
Yeah. And so, oh, man. Yeah. I don't even know where to start. I mean, you have just backup after backup after backup on there. You've Cameron Dantzler. You have Chris Boyd. You got Jeff Gladney. Stop me when you hear somebody you know.
Gladney's the guy. Yeah, Gladney's the guy going up against Cole this week.
Oh man, it's just so terrible. I don't know any of these guys. And you're saying Bo knows. Brad's right. Bo knows. If you know these guys, Bo would know them. You don't know them because they're terrible, and that's what you need to know.
I know them because they're terrible.
Yeah. And Burn Zone's right. It's a bunch of no-name scrubbinis.
That's why this game's going to be a big stinking shootout.
Oh yeah, I love that. Yeah, it's a good call. Here's the thing. I think your team definitely has that 200-point upside. I think, though, that game script could change.
Oh, yeah.
For both of us. And so if JT gets touches, then I'm not going to be successful. Nyheim Hines won't really help me. But if Shark gets the touches or LaVisca gets the big splash play, so we'll just see. I think it's a great matchup, though. And Mike, you missed it earlier. Did you see the video of Bo calling me out? I think that's one of the best things about this article is the embedded content within it. So let me give you the Bo special real quick, and it's worth watching.
We'll make big time here. This is a fireside call-out video for Scott Simpson at Nimble W Numbers. Yeah. Coming off a walloping victory. I have to redeem myself. So I don't know what the odds are going to be. Scott has to tell me how much money he's willing to lose this week. But needless to say, I'm going to beat him again. And my guarantee is that this week I will score at least 200 points with my lineup. So if he wants to win, he's going to have to bring 200 plus. And head-to-head, not bloody likely.
Not likely. I fucking love it, man.
Up those stakes.
Here's the thing I love about Bo.
Did you say steak?
Interesting. I I was telling Mike this earlier this year. I was like, we should be more combative on the Fantasy Millionaires. It's like give that edge. And Mike's just like, yeah, that's not us though, man. Like that's not how we. It's not.
Yeah, but you guys aren't battling on anything. You guys are like trying to
like buddies. And I was like, yeah, that's true. And then as soon as I realized, like, oh, me and Poe are fucking doing this every week, because even though he was on the DFS money shot the first week and he defeated me for $50, is that what it was? $20?
I was like, I don't remember, but it was by 50 points.
Yeah, he crushed me. Ever since then, I was just like beating him little by little. It was like steadily building to the point where I could tell I wasn't saying anything to him. Like I would never call him out. I wouldn't say anything about it. I would just beat him. After a while, I started getting a little hubris. And then he's just like, bitch, you want to play for AirPods? Or whatever. No, I suggested that. I suggested it. But every time we would go hard, he would win. And he's won every time we've actually put up any stakes. So, Bo, here's what I want to do.
I'm a heavy hitter.
People bet cash, right? That's what they wanted?
Yeah, it was a 59 to 41% in favor of cash.
Well, then let's do $59 then.
All right.
You know what I mean? That's what the people wanted. Let's give them the exact – everybody whose vote counts. That's $1 vote, whatever it is. It's a percentage vote. So $59 either way. I think that's a good stakes. I'm going to give you a -4 odds or +4. You're minus.
You don't give me odds.
Yeah, I think you've got this a little bit. I'm hoping for some upside plays from my guys, but I'm not super. I'm worried. Let me just put.
I'll take your +4, but I don't need it.
Well, yeah. I think this is going to be a fun week for sure. Colin, where's your money at in this? If you're betting to win a little money yourself,
if I'm betting on your two between you guys, who's gonna take home the cake? Is that the question?
Yep. Or you can set a spread of your own.
All right, let's go back. I want to see it again. Let me see the builds again, because right now, to be honest with you, it's really close.
Yeah, that's what we thought too.
I don't have a strong lean. At the end of the day, so you got Aaron Rodgers. You both have Nick Chubb, okay? Yep. Then you got Eckler. He's got Henry, Allen Robinson, Justin Jefferson, Kiki Kuti, Robert Tonyan. Okay. And then he's got Pittman, Keelan Cole, Ferkser, and then he has a good
J-Rob
flex. Yeah, he's got the great flex. Who is your flex, Scotty?
My flex is Nyheim Hines.
Yeah, it's really close, man.
Isn't it close? I feel like it's a pick 'em. It's like so fucking close.
I'm gonna be honest with you, and I'm not the I'm just gonna give you my bet. I'm gonna bet Simpson wins, only because I do think
you just gave me a kiss of death.
I like the Aaron Rodgers.
Oh yeah,
build.
I have Rodgers all over the place too.
I do. I just like it. I feel like I'm just going off betting on that. Really, like I don't think he's going to take his foot off the gas pedal at any point. Like, I think he has 4 touchdowns tomorrow. He's
pissed off.
Yeah, I just think that's what's going to happen. And then if Tonyan gets one, which he could, that might be the difference.
It's a value play for me. I'm just looking for value in that Tonyan. I mean, if Tonyan gets 5 catches for 80 yards, I've got it. I've got it. If he gets a touchdown,
because I guarantee Ferkser outscores Tonyan.
All right, we got to do a side bet.
Yeah,
side bet. All right, $10 side bet. No way.
Yep.
No way. All right.
That's a good bet.
69. We're betting 69.
Nice.
Perfect. 69. If you
69 dudes.
So let me ask you guys a question. Prefer top or bottom on the 69 or sideways on the 69? What's your 69 per reference?
I'm all for equality. Sideways.
Sideways?
Yeah.
Yeah. I got to say, the view on the bottom is great.
Well, yeah.
Oh my God. I've taken pictures my wife doesn't know about. They're great. They're fucking great. I love it.
What's not to love?
I know. Oh my God. The ass just right there. Okay. What about you, Collins? What's your vote?
I want to know when you guys are going to raise the stakes to anal virginity between you guys. What is it?
My wife already set up the casino on that one.
Yeah.
He's officially known as your gay friend, Scott.
Well, what's so funny is before that, I was your gay friend. I was Mike's gay friend. So,
yeah.
I mean,
Sorry, Mike.
There's a lot of gayness that's been passed around in my relationship with every man. Because I love people. That's just me.
There's no place for homophobia anywhere. So I mean, we got to embrace our friendship, even if it transcends friendship.
I mean, here's the thing for me. I was in a class in college at Montgomery College in Maryland. It's a community college. And I took an art history class, and my teacher, Professor Alicia, was in class, and they were talking about the Spartans, and just talking. And this was probably in, I'm going to say 2000, so 20 years ago. And I think she'd be perfect for now. But back then, it set the class off because there's a lot of dudes there. So she shows some pictures of some paintings, and she goes, one of my favorite experiences of the Spartans and this time period was they would go to battle, they would fight brother to brother, and you're like, yeah. You're like, as men, you're just like, woo!
Leonidas.
They would link arms and link hearts and link souls and fight for their. You're like, yeah. And as guys, you're getting like you're in a quiet room at 9:30 in the morning on a Tuesday, and so you're barely fucking awake. You're probably still high from last night. You're just like, oh, God damn, what's going? And then she's like getting you going. She's getting you up on this story, and then the story ends with her going. And then after they would fight, they would come back and they would bathe, and you're like, oh, okay. You're like, okay.
That's normal. Yeah, they're dirty and sweaty.
And then during the bathing, they would do sensual touchings. I'm like, what? Wait a minute. And you just see all the guys. I was in the back. You see all the guys who were leaning in start like one-to-one to be like, what the fuck?
They're battle buddies.
Yeah. And they'd be like, and she was like, and then they would express the full expression of their brotherly love, and they would start just having sex with each other in the forum. They would just start, giving each other oral pleasures, and all the guys in the room were just like, oh, like nobody liked it. Nobody liked the story. And at the end of the day, she gave a little quiz. We all took our quiz, and then turned on the lights. And I just sat in the back. I don't give a shit. No guy looked at any guy. Like all the guys were like, "Man, get the fuck out!" They were
it's
all
just like at the urinal, like no eye contact.
And it was just so funny though, because how she wrapped it up was she said this. She goes, "And what was so amazing is that the love that they had on the battlefield transformed into love that they had for each other sensually." And then everybody thought that she was like building to some like deeper thing, and then it was just like fucking. And she showed a picture of like all these guys like kind of like fucking. Everybody hated it. It was so funny.
Spartan sex is the caption for this one.
It's like, yes, this is perfect. I wasn't uncomfortable. I leaned in. I was just like, tell me more. What's going on? Why are they doing this? How did this happen? Oh, they were deprived of being around women for hundreds of hours and years, and they just weren't around women. So these guys would go up to battle for 10 years, and they would just be around dudes all the time.
I'm never going to watch 300 the same way again.
Yeah, they did all sorts of weird stuff. I mean, all that stuff's true. I mean, they had, I'm not a big expert in Spartan culture, but you get intrigued by it.
Right.
Yeah, the movie 300, it's such an awesome movie.
Great movie.
Yeah.
And
it actually paints the picture of that matriarchal society.
Yeah.
You know how they chose the 300? The Leonidas, he was a real dude. He actually went around. He didn't pick the best soldiers. He picked the guys that had the strongest women. Yep. Because he needed those women to be strong because they knew they were literally just sacrificing it. And like one of the women had her husband and her son go, and she's like, "Why are you doing this?" And he's like, "Because you're the strongest woman here, and you have and
you can handle it."
Yep, you can handle it. So
chances are they're both going to die, and you're going to be able to handle it.
Make another man, make another person, do it again.
I mean, they really were just a crazy badass culture, but there's so much weird stuff with the sex too, like the stuff they did to little kids. I mean,
well, they culled anything that wasn't perfect. They culled.
Right. Yeah,
like that was in the movie too, where they're like any imperfection they cut out of the bloodline.
Yeah.
And you understand why in those times when you have no doctors, no medicine, no health care, no surgery, no anything. And I mean, honestly speaking, my bloodline would have lost somebody in this. It doesn't, when you have nothing, if something weak happens, you're just like, weak is bad. If you die, you're bad. It's like a real fundamental thought.
Yeah, it's like one of the first forms of eugenics, you know, like that's what it was.
Yeah.
Yep. Sure was.
Yeah.
Well, it's happened all across history where one minority or majority supplants a minority and overtakes them in a war or a battle or a famine or whatever it is. And then you have, a culture or a organization kind of be subjugated, So, but we're getting super deep tonight, man.
Let's build a lineup.
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking the same thing. So I'm not going to lie. Scotty Too Hottie has got to go to the potty. And so, Bo, do you have the power to share your screen or no?
I do, but I don't have my screen up. So,
well, okay. So do you want to pull up a millionaire $20 lineup? I'll spot you, of course, as we do. But let's put a bullet in, and I'll put it in myself later as well.
Scotty, go potty.
All right, I'll be right back. I've only been. This is only my third podcast of the night, so I've only been doing this since 8:15. No worries. I'll be back.
That's a lot of podcasting.
That's a lot of potties.
Yeah.
It's only my second potty.
Yeah, you got to get those potties in, dude. It's the worst when you're just sitting there having to hold it too.
Yep.
You got to get them in.
Right. I'm pulling up the screen right now.
Potty,
So is this going to be a Bo McBig Time Cash Collins build here? Is that what we're about to do?
It's going to start there. Yep.
Mind meld it up a little bit.
Yep.
I mean, we can do a boy Kirk Cousins. I like that. You know me, I'm all about Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I think we need to plug Rodgers in.
All right.
I'm not huge on his upside, but that value is insane.
It really is. Yeah, I mean, he really is right there too in the MVP race. Like, I just don't see him. I mean, don't you agree with that assessment? Like, didn't you see? I mean, what you saw versus the Bears too. He's not taking his foot off the gas pedal if they're up, 31-7.
Well, they haven't been able to run the ball lately.
But he's just going to keep trying to get touchdowns. Like, I could see that game getting out of hand fast.
Yeah.
And the Eagles do have a good front line. So, that does play into the idea of like, how's he going to be able to deal with the pressure and stuff like that? But beyond that,
well,
I don't see anything.
What do you guys think about Darius Slay on Devonta Adams? Do you think that's going to be enough to fade him from from millionaire lineups or whatever? What do you think about that?
I'm pretty much of the opinion that he's going to have a typical game, and then I'm big on Lazard this week. Lazard or
what do you think about Tunyon at 3,700?
I like Tunyon. I like Tunyon.
But what do you think, brother?
I want Devontae Adams and or Tunyon.
I'm down with Devontae Adams if you want to do the pair. So I'm down with that. But yeah, I don't think we need to double stack. So I would say just let's go with them. And now, what are you guys thinking about the whole Devontae Booker situation? So that's a nice.
Booker is cheap. I think the chalk's going to be with Montgomery still at the same price. So I like Booker a lot, especially in the flex.
Okay. I mean, he's 55, so that's somebody to put a
Why
pin.
don't we put him in our flex then? Just drop him in.
Okay. Drop him in that flex joint, yeah.
Yeah, that's what we want to do. I like that. He's got 20 plus touch upside, which means 1 to 2 touchdown potential. Red zone carries, passing upside. I like it.
Yeah, if they get down in the red zone, all they do is run it anyway.
Right.
It wants to put him in the RB1 spot for now because we didn't start with running back.
Fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Doesn't matter. Is there who are we spending up at running back on? I'm afraid of the chalk on Chubb. I really am.
Do you want me to look at the chalk on Chubb right now?
Yep.
All right. Just so you know, Bo, I love your fam. They're a little loud in the background.
Yep, I'm using the mute button.
No worries. Let me jump into my builder here. Let me look at. All right, so who am I looking up here, Bo?
Nick Chubb ownership.
Nick Chubb. Okay, so Nick Chubb is around not that high. I'm surprised. Where's he at? 4% ownership.
If that's impossible, and if that's anywhere near true, then 10%, we're locking him in.
Yeah, that's what it is. I mean, I'm looking at the Occupy Fantasy Draft Kings main build, and I'll tell you the running back order we have. I can actually share it. Let me do that. I'm gonna take control of the sharing option here, and let me share my screen. And then I'm going to bring it over. There we go. So let's make it a little bigger. For the ladies.
He's definitely right about Montgomery, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Booker at 14.9. Is that what that says?
Yeah. So
Not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all. But if you look down, Chubb is way. There he is, right down there, under Jonathan Taylor. So, I mean, he's really low. That's really low, 4%. So
it's easy. That's easy.
Yeah. So I think that we should definitely
down with it.
Put him in. So, Bo, I'm gonna unshare my screen. I'll let you take back those powers.
You like my Run RG3 shirt?
I like that until he got hurt last week. That he's on IR.
Yeah.
He didn't run. He got hurt. Oh, he did run, actually. And he got hurt.
He's old now.
Yeah, man. We all know about RG3.
Just straight. What did he pull his hamstring?
Yeah. He's on IR.
I was bummed.
That's crazy, though. So, Bo, while you do that, I'm gonna build this lineup in my tool, in my Occupy Fantasy tool. I'm just gonna give us the ownership. just so everyone has an understanding. I'll give you kind of the big picture. Is that cool?
Where are you guys at with my boy Brandon Cooks?
Maybe in a game stack, but I mean, it's more of a cash play.
He's got a bad corner.
Bad corner and 2 corners probably all game. They won't have to cover anybody else.
Yeah, you think they just are scheming everything towards him?
Yeah, who else is going to beat him?
Yeah. It makes sense when you're looking to kind of isolate the threat, you know. It makes a lot of sense.
I'm all over Michael Pittman this week.
I like that play actually a lot. Mike, what do you think about that?
I haven't really been thinking about him too much, but I like it. I just it hasn't been in my mental planning for week 13, but that's why I come on here and learn. I mean, I'll do that. Let's do it.
So right now we're looking at Aaron Rodgers, Nick Chubb, Devontae Booker, Devontae Adams, Michael Pittman. We're at a 52.3% ownership, and that looks pretty good. I like that so far.
Okay.
We have 4,000. Basically, we have 2,100 left, or 20,100 left. But
20,100 left.
Yeah,
okay.
we've got 4,000 average.
I'm saying let's roll with Ferkser.
Okay, I like that a lot. Bo, what do you think, brother?
Bo's in.
Bo's in. I love it.
You know I'm all over Ferkser.
Ferkser.
You guys already had anal virginity. You bet anal beads on him. So
let's get ferked up this week, man. Let's get ferked up.
Ferk me, baby.
Ferk me hard.
All right.
It's starting to look real sexy now.
Can I offer a defensive suggestion? What do you all think about defensive here?
Yeah, let's do it. Throw a defense at me.
Okay.
Throw it out.
All right. So here's just a suggestion, right? And I don't know what you guys think about this kind of situation, but I'll give you the ownership percentages on defense so you understand where they're at. Bears are 15.5, Seahawks 15.4, Vikings 10.7, Dolphins 9.4, Packers 9.2. So some of the heavy hitters are up top. I would say we play down, and I like the Colts this week, and they're at 3,000, but that's kind of my priced up option. My price down option, all the way down, is the Jets at 2,100. So which one of those do you guys like?
I love the Jets.
Colin, talk about
the goddamn Jets, 2,100. It's a sneaky pick, and I wrote about it.
I like it too, man. I like it a lot. Yeah, all they got to do is get you 7 points. If they get any type of sack, I think it's a good play. What do you think, Mike?
Sure. I'm all about saving money on defense, so that's a good way to save money. I mean, I was putting Jacksonville in the lineups; they're even cheaper. So,
well, right now we're gonna have $11,500 to split 2 ways between our wide receiver and our flex, so we can do some real damage. We can find those upside plays that are gonna max out. What are you thinking? I'll give you guys both the floor. You guys can both pick both of them. I've got no say in this. I'll give you guys each a pick, and let's talk about, kind of argue what your thoughts are on it.
You could do Thielen plus a nubby. You know what I mean? Like, you could do Thielen. You still got 40.
Or at the same price as Thielen, you can do James Robinson.
Well, yeah, let's check that out. So if you got James Robinson, then we have 4,200 left. So let's look in that $4,200 range. who do we have available? Who are we advocating for here, Bo?
It starts getting bad once you go below 45.
Denzel Mims.
Is he 4,100?
I think so.
I like that a lot. So we're at 80% ownership right now, which is good. Means we have a 20%.
That's a lot better than I thought with Chubb being there.
Well, we have Aaron Rodgers, Nick Chubb, Devontae Booker, Devontae Adams, Michael Pittman, Denzel Mims, Fursker, James Robinson, Jets. I got to say, I really like this lineup a lot. You have a lot of value at Mims. You have tons of value with Pittman. Adams is a steady floor and hopefully, a steady kind of rock there. Booker presents upside. Chubb is that floor, and James Robinson is a floor and an upside. So I think this is a good play. If you're not winning it, at least you're going to cash. At least you're going to make some money, I think. That's my perspective on it.
Let's do it. Let's rock it out.
Yeah. I love it. Now, let's do this. How about after Bo enters this, I'll enter one. We'll do another one. Let's build another one. Is that okay, or are we done? Is it too late? It's late. It's
kind of late.
Let's do this. Let's call it a night. Great seeing you guys. If you haven't watched Big Mouth, you should definitely watch Big Mouth.
Oh God, we got 4 episodes in last night.
I watched every episode.
So good.
So fucking Bo, there's so many moments where there's a one-liner where you laugh so hard you're like, I gotta fucking rewind it. Oh fucking I missed it. I'm dying laughing. Have you got
I like this kid, he's a fucking freak.
He's a freak. I love ducking. Look at my ducking. Yeah. That whole thing was just the whole series so far. Did you get them going into school yet at the episode when they went back to school?
Yeah, but I just finished that one.
So here's what I told Mike. I'm not gonna give away the line, but I just told Mike, I said they destroyed Bart Simpson in 6 seconds. I said they walked into school and they laid waste to boom, 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 boom.
It was right off the bat.
Oh, I liked it so much. And Chop Lady ended it with draw hair. It's great. I loved it. So, well, thank you everybody for tuning in. From Brad to the Burn Zone to everybody else who stuck around with us, who jumped in. Thank you so much.
Faith.
Yeah, Faith.
David,
to everybody who was hanging out with us here tonight. We appreciate you very much.
I think Linda Lindelians was in here. Linda.
Oh, I love Linda. Awesome.
Maybe. I don't know. She's pretty wasted after the Oklahoma State game.
Well, she's wasted most times after most things. So, that's how it goes. Bo wishes he could laugh. So, find my guy Bo at Bo_McBigTime on Twitter, and then also Fantasy Hot Box on Twitter, and then also the fantasyhotbox.com, and then at Nibble W Numbers under Bono's Fantasy, Bono's DFS, sorry. And then you can find me at Nibble W Numbers over at Twitter, and then NibbleWNumbers.com. You can find Mike at the Ralph Mott Show on Twitter. You can find him at thefantasymillionaires.com. You can find him also on Twitter at the FFMillionaires.com. Find us, hook us up, chill out with us, do your thing with us. We got Bo's Hot Box Batch Hot Sauce right here. It's the shit. It's the best thing around. I had it on my food I ate during the show. It's delicious. I love it. So glad you could be with us tonight. Bo, any parting thoughts?
I'm going to join the party next door here in the kitchen.
Sounds like it's a great time, man. Get some tacos, All right. Yeah. Love you guys. We're out. See you guys next week for the Fast.Hard.Finish. Fast. Hard. Finish. You